Siema Kacpro. Co tam, jak tam? Co tam słychać? Jak tam w szkole? Co dobrego? Jak wam minęła pierwsza połowa tygodnia? Jedną rzecz jeszcze chcę zrobić. Troszkę swój ryj zmniejszę. Bo bez przesady. Po co to komu? Takie wielkie. Jak to ci przyjaciółka okłamała? Z czym? Mieliśmy wejść do księgarni, tak, tyle pamiętam. To jest właścicielka, tak? Najpierw się rozejrzał.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere.
Czy mógłby mi pani coś powiedzieć o tych książkach z mięśniakiem?
Oh, Man from Hyundai. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Czemu są takie popularne?
Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
Szantażować? Przecież Kacpro, ty jesteś... Nie chcę cię obrazić, ty jesteś już w liceum, nie? Czy jeszcze podstawówka? I wydawało mi się, że liceum, bo pisałeś testy. Drugie liceum, tak. Już druga, Jezu, jak ten czas leci. Ty już tyle lat tutaj siedzisz, czas marnujesz na streamach u jakiegoś łysego typa. Krew, przemoc i skąpo odziane kobiety. Bohaterskie narracje i wszystkie te mistyczne rzeczy, które napotyka. Poczytałbym coś takiego. Łącznie. Kacpro, bez spacji. Dobrze to brzmi, od której powinienem zacząć.
What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always
Sorry.
right, they say.
2 lata, 4 miesiące, 9 dni, 14 godzin. Jeszcze wpisz watch time. Jestem ciekaw, ile czasu zmarnowałeś. Cztery dni, 22 godziny. Kacpro, masa czasu. Co to za różnice? Wszystkie są takie same, stwierdzę, przewracając oczami i zaczyna bawić się swoim wisiorkiem, ale jak mawiają, klient ma zawsze rację.
If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyundalaman, the man from Hyundal. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Nie stać mnie. Przyjrzyj się książkom na wystawie.
Rows and rows of Hyundalamen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyundai and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyundai, Return to Hyundai. And the solipsistic Man from Hyundai and the Hyundai Man.
Człowiek z Heimdalu i Heimdalski człowiek. Matko. Oczywiście nie muszę, bo na to poświęcam z godziny max. Dziewczyn nie mam, więc lepiej posiedzieć i posłuchać ulubionego streamera. Może lepiej poszukać dziewczyny, chociaż w sumie znajdź sobie partnerkę na studniówkę i tyle. I półmetek. Nie, półmetek już miałeś, jesteś w drugiej klasie. Czekaj. Tak, w drugiej klasie był półmetek, w trzeciej była studniówka. Tak, tak to szło. Boże drogi, ile ich jest.
Maybe 100. Man from Hyundai and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hyundai and the false god. Man from Hyundai and the scorched earth. Man from Hyundai, the Hyundai colonies. Man from Hyundai and the swamp beast. Man from Hyundai and the snow crabs.
Oj, Kacpro, nie ta to kolejna.
Those snow crabs are worse than they sound.
To już wszystko. Siema nieziemski. Co tam słychać? Co dobrego? Co złego?
Not even close. Man from Heimdall in hell. Man from Heimdall and the forest of slaves. Man from Heimdall under the lake. Man from Heimdall. Heimdall burning. There's even the Trial of Death, a pastoral combat gamebook set in the world of Heimdall and so much more.
Próg bólu średni. Czy któraś z tych książek zdaje się u mnie wzywać? Mam 72% na rzut. Liczę na to, że się uda.
A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching.
Spoko, nieziemski. Też się męczę z katarem, znaczy już mi się kończy powoli. Boy. Ogólnie nawet sobie kupiłem taki gówno sztyfty do nosa mentelowy, żeby lżej oddychać, ale to działa przez 5 sekund. Więc tak sobie zapodam, odetchnę przez 5-10 sekund normalnie i wracam do zatkanego nosa. Ale spoko, że wracasz do zdrowia. I nieziemski, nie będę twoim królikiem doświadczalnym co do słuchawek. Mnie nie stać. Znajomy, który miał sobie kupić słuchawki, ogólnie stwierdził, że woli kupić glebogryzarkę. Ja stwierdziłem, że to, żeby on kupił glebogryzarkę, bardziej mi się przyda niż słuchawki. Rinbak to się nazywa, czej. Wygląda trochę jak tampon, nie wiem czy fokus złapie. Jest całkiem spoko, żeby tak sobie odetchnąć na raz. Na dłuższą metę gówno daje faktycznie, ale mówię, jest spoko, żeby złapać oddech. No, w czerwcu Kacpro, rocznica. Trzeba by imprezę zrobić na Dzień Dziecka. Dobra, ukucie gdzieś z tyłu głowy sprawia, że się wzdrygasz. Twoje oko zaczyna drgać w tiku. Au.
Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular man from Heimdall in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man.
Domina.
She's laughing at him, belittling him. Between the throne and the Heimdall man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Heimdall and the Devil Woman.
Dobra. Moja dedukcja prowadzi do tego, że nasz bohater jest po rozwodzie. Jak tam w ogóle nieziemski? Pomaga ci to coś? Czy nie? Ale czy nie wszystkie kobiety to diablice?
Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region.
Węża jaszczurka. Rozumiem, że to te same gówno było od razu recenzją, tak?
The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Heimdall novels.
Dobra, nie stać mi na tą książkę. W ogóle na nic mi nie stać. Czasopismo sportowe. Szybciej chodźmy. Książki na prezent, roztopione cukierki. Narodowe przepisy. W tle drukarka i głowa. Czy z kasy?
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
Przepraszam, jakie macie tutaj gry planszowe?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Who are you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Rany, ja mam dzieci, rodzinę.
It certainly feels like whatever you are will die with you.
Wiem, czego nie mam, morale. Proszę na mnie popatrzeć, kto by chciał mieć ze mną dzieci.
Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit. And technically, friends are a bit like family.
Dobra, muszę poprawić.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other
Trzymaj się,
civilizations.
Kacpro.
It'll cost 12 real.
Powodzenia. Nie stać mnie na zwierzchnictwo. O co chodzi z tym całym wiralem?
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals
D&D.
where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
Przyjrzyj się rzeczom związanym z wiralem.
An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Catawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag.
Czy coś naprawdę mocno przyciąga moją uwagę? Siema, Krzysiu.
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting supplements module. The side panel notes a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real.
25 reali? Ja mam 60 groszy.
Nonsense for anemic Beano clods.
Dobra, na nic mnie nie stać. Zobaczmy, co jest na górze.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
A, tak, książki o Dicku. Przepraszam, co to za kryminały?
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Zwłaszcza, że mam czas tak do 15:30. W ogóle, Krzysiu, byłem w Vivo dzisiaj. Z samego rana mijałem protesty. Służbowo, powiedzmy. Tak stwierdziłem, że rolnicy przyjechali imprezować w sumie, a ich żony na zakupy, bo był taki tłok. Jedni maszerują, drudzy kupują. Przyjrzyj się książkom na wystawie.
Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers.
Szczerze, ta gra byłaby krótsza, gdybym nie słuchał dialogów, tylko sam czytał.
These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives.
Właśnie, najeść, czaisz? Mieli całe stoisko z chlebkiem ze smalcem, kiełbaską. Kurde, aż ja się głodny zrobiłem. Nawet pierogi mieli z cebulką.
Not a single mention of all the
Przygotowani
stress
są.
this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf?
Boże, nie.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine detective Dick Mullen.
Broszurkę z uroczymi obrazkami. Broszurka z pieskami. Tom faszystowskiej magii.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Ale to jest problem każdego protestu tak naprawdę. Każdy protest ma ten... Czekajcie, w ogóle miałem ściszyć trochę grę minimalnie. Ma ten sam schemat. Postulaty mogą być słuszne, ale sam protest wkurwi tylko obywateli, a rządzący będą mieli wyjebane. Poza tym sposób, w jaki oni to robią, to sorry, ale kurwa... Rodzice dzisiaj do lekarza pojechali. Ojciec matkę wiózł. 2 miejsca protestu mijali 40 km, jechali około 3,5 godziny. No to sorry, ale trochę przesada. Przejrzyj książki. Przepraszam, co to za książki? Zapytaj mi kulturalnie.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Przejrzyj książki na półce.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
Jak to niby działa?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything.
Aha, książki dla szurów.
Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
Piszą w tej książce o czymkolwiek innym?
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And
Cenna wiedza.
there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
Znajdź coś naprawdę nie z tego świata. Jeżeli to sfailuje,
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pearl.
co to jest szarota?
The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted.
O czym jest ta książka?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pearl. also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale. Even better if you can find someone else, preferably a large man dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you while you're spread naked and helpless on a cool slab.
Aha, nie no, brzmi orzeźwiająco.
It is, and good for the circulation too.
Co jeszcze?
It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
I co daje takie sezonowanie w szarocie?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
Powinienem chyba sobie coś takiego zorganizować. Co jeszcze tam jest?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pale, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need. I don't know. I don't want to be the party pooper, but this pale territory sounds sort of dangerous. Maybe you shouldn't walk in it naked.
Jeszcze coś ciekawego?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
To by mi się mogło przydać.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough. If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it.
Nie no, kupiłbym, ale mnie nie stać.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Spójrz na mapę Insulindy.
This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another, far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme.
Co jeszcze?
Ozon, Laurentide, Fas a la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou. In a bookstore, it's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible.
Zmruż najpierw oczy, czy na wyspach widać miasta?
You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark.
Spójrz na brzegi.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Mwindi is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
Spójrz na mapę Revacholu.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Rivershell East.
A na zachód od rzeki.
Huron, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forburg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
A Martinez.
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Rivershell Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you?
Dobra, i spójrzmy na mapę Martinez.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbour, even the whirling in rags there.
Przepraszam, czy mógłbym kupić tę mapę?
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Nawet na to mnie nie stać. Czemu ta Martinezka jest taka tania?
That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago, they also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
A co się stało?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Dobra. To jest wymagające. Nie. Nawet nie będę próbował. Ta mapa może mi się przydać, a wolałbym sobie nie zamknąć raczej opcji zdobycia jej.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Przepraszam, czy na tej półce jest coś godnego uwagi?
I would say The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Kim lub czym jest ta niewinność?
A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education.
Jakieś wykształcenie, ale nie my.
The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things.
Myślałem, że jest o tym, która z tych niewinności jest najbardziej czadowa i najlepsza.
Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings.
Czyli polecę ją pani.
Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
Dobra, czyli do tej księgarni i tak będę musiał wrócić i kupić książki i mapę. Jak już będę miał jakikolwiek hajs. Jeszcze zobaczmy książki na wystawie.
Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all just vapid egoism. Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High-Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz by one Cecilia Averbrook.
O czym ona jest?
High-Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other. Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse, though, but not too long.
She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Nie stać nas, okej. Ale to były wszystkie książki. Przez chwilę myślałem, że się gra zawiesi. Czy możemy zajrzeć tutaj?
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Przyjrzyj się dziwnej, przypominającej klatkę ozdobie.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Przepraszam, co jest za tą zasłonką?
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
Czy ja chcę się tam wbić? Na razie zignoruj. Po pierwsze, nasze morales się. Czy mogę umrzeć od zbyt niskiego morale? To jest dobre pytanie. Czy mogę podupaść na duchu na śmierć?
Welcome to Crime, Romance and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance. Be welcome, and please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Dlaczego to brzmi jak jakaś sekta? I to taka... o której napisałby coś Lovecraft. Mały rybi łeb. Bardzo ciekawy ma pani naszyjnik.
Oh yes, helps to have an anchor in these times.
Nie no, nieziemski. Gra im na poważnie. Prawie poważnie. Kurwa. Dobra. Muszę uważać na te słuchawki. Co do pani należy ten sklep?
I am the proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
To pani córka stoi przed sklepem, prawda?
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl?
Tak, oczywiście.
Wonderful. Did you talk to her?
Tak.
Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
A co to, ankieta po usłudze?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
Jako człowiek, który pracował w usługach, wiem dobrze, że wszystko poniżej 10 jest detrymentem i leci po premii. 10. Nie sposób nie zauważyć, że jest bardzo grzeczna i pomocna.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
Annette to nie byle dziewczyna, stanowi doskonałą wartość dodaną. Sposób, w jaki ją pani traktuje, wydaje mi się nieodpowiedni.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of your or anyone's business.
Od tej presji zrobiła się naprawdę niespokojna. Wie pani, że obgryza paznokcie?
God, I've told her not to do that. It's disgusting. And I told you to mind your own business. Clearly, you have no idea how hard it is to raise a girl in this economy.
This economy is a mysterious force, like cosmic weather, mysterious and harsh.
Nie wydaje mi się, żeby umiała cokolwiek z tym zrobić. Dziwnie brzmi ta odpowiedź, ale okej, spróbujmy.
She can, if she has enough willpower. This is what's called growing pains. Life isn't easy. Life doesn't give breaks.
A, czyli to było odnośnie jej paznokci.
Come on, ma'am. It's obvious she can't do anything about it. You are placing an unnecessary burden on a young child.
To, co pani robi, jest niewłaściwe. Nawet ja to wiem, a zwykle nie wiem niczego.
She stands stiff and severe, silently fuming. 10 or so seconds pass without change.
Oh no. Hold on. I need to invite her inside and apologize. She must be freezing out there. There. I don't know what to say to you. My husband, he tries to teach me business lessons. I have what my mother called a dull mind. All this stress.
Dlaczego to wali fałszem?
It sounds like both the husband and the mother treat her the way she treats Annette.
Jest pani dla swojego męża jak Annette, dla matki też.
Oh, well, my mother was horrible, of course. Absolutely perverse energies around that person. But my husband...
My husband is completely different, of course.
Czy ten mąż jest ojcem Annette?
Yes, my husband is a successful entrepreneur east of the river. If only he were more involved in the business we're running up here. No matter. Soon we'll both be off for Grand Couronne.
Zaraz. Grand Couronne? Co to?
It's a proper place to live. One of the most peaceful neighborhoods east of Jamrock. You may know it for its massive housing projects. Most of the buildings are empty at the moment. It's a great opportunity to get ahead of the crowds. Better times ahead for sure.
Pani mąż zajmuje się też księgarnią?
He made the initial investment. Since then, he's been what you might call a silent partner.
Jest jedynym dzieckiem?
Yes, I'm afraid so. A real treat she is. It would be nice if she had... No, we couldn't have afforded more children, really. Not in this economy.
Czemu?
We're quite busy people, you know, my husband and I. Quite busy. Children are a lot of work. You don't look like a father, so I don't expect you to understand. I'm sorry. I'm sure you do understand.
Mówiło mi, że nie chodzi już do szkoły.
She's been too busy helping me here. So she studied at home this trimester. This is a temporary solution, of course. I assure you, I of all people understand the importance of education. She will be back in school the moment the store takes off.
Dobrze, mam jeszcze inną sprawę.
The woman looks aloof, her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Dlaczego mam wrażenie, że jak tylko wyjdziemy, córka dostanie w pierdol? A jeśli chcę kupić książkę,
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go, go! Get back there. The books await you.
jakie rodzaje książek tu macie?
Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. The shelves compel you, don't they?
Dobrze, w takim razie rzucę jeszcze raz okiem.
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Do widzenia, pani handlarko. Czy w ogóle mam coś jeszcze co mogę zrobić? Zapłać za szkody to nie. Zgłoszenie zaginięcia i telefon do Sylwii. Muszę też wrócić do trupa. Zagadajmy jeszcze z dziewczynką.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
Przecież ty do szkoły nie chodzisz.
You just can't win.
Co tu jest nie halo? Czemu wydaje mi się to znajome?
Because you know each other. She's been talking to you so openly because you've talked before.
Chwila, a więc ty mnie znasz? Spotykaliśmy się wcześniej?
Yes, I used to stand out there all the time before Mother told me to focus on my homework. You've been running around all week without your shirt on, sir, apologizing to everyone. I don't really understand what you've done wrong.
Czy my już kiedyś rozmawialiśmy?
Of course, you've stopped by a few times. You certainly look better than the last time I saw you.
Jak to lepiej? Wyglądam koszmarnie.
Yeah, but you don't have party eyes anymore.
Imprezowych oczu nie mamy.
Party eyes. Yes, of course. That makes sense.
I'm not surprised children have seen you running around with party eyes on, he thinks. Not at all.
Imprezowych oczu?
You know, like a cat in the dark, all big and wide-eyed. It certainly looks odd on a man.
Czyli biegaliśmy naćpani po mieście. Bez koszulki.
The swiveling eyes of a loony drug addict. That is what she meant. You were probably gurning too. Fuck yeah. You should get some party eyes right now. Snap those sequins on you, boy.
Czy to znaczy, że zażywam narkotyki?
Oh, baby, that's not what you have to worry about. Worry about the important thing.
To czemu od razu mi nie powiedziałaś, że mnie znasz?
I didn't know I had to do that.
Dziękuję. Czegoś się dzisiaj o sobie nauczyłem.
I'm glad I could help you, sir.
Mamy level up. Co teraz odrabiasz?
Math. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away.
Co takiego?
I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out. Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
Kapelusz Dicka Mullena. Czekaj, a skąd go masz?
Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there.
Czy to fedora?
Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Right, I have to get back to my homework now. Before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
Dobra, pa. Do zobaczenia, Net. Czyli po kolei. Zobaczmy kapelusz. Gdyby nie te rękawice, to ikona stylu. Wewnętrzne imperium. Coś mogę wylewelować, tak? Pytanie co? Na pewno nie półmroczność. Aczkolwiek próg bólu wydaje się przydatny. Percepcja, wszystko wydaje się przydatne i ciekawe. Teraz już wiem, że nie mogę się nikomu wyślizgnąć. Nie jesteśmy na pewno władczy. Mamy problem z logiką. Dreszcze. Panuj nad sobą, dbaj o swoje morale. Matematyka wzrokowa. Dobra, czyli już wiem, że spróbujmy pójść w przekonywanie. Na razie gadajmy z ludźmi, przekonujmy. Bawmy się jak marionetkami. Chociaż z drugiej strony wróć. Odrobina silnej woli nigdy nie zaszkodzi. Nigdy nie szkodzi silna wola. Zwłaszcza, że póki co moje morale cierpiało bardzo. Bardzo, bardzo. Może zagadam z Kimem. Ciekawe, czy ma jakiś komentarz. Widzę, że za mną chodzisz. Tak.
Excuse me?
Nic. Tak tylko zauważyłem.
You have a distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide.
Ten chód Menela. Jak to charakterystyczne.
I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically. They say it's a scene-clearing technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough. Prioritizes containers.
Żartujesz sobie? Czemu pojemniki?
I don't know. Containers contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Chciałbym porozmawiać o tobie.
Me?
Tak, o tobie.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
Będzie nam się łatwiej współpracować, jeśli się lepiej poznamy.
That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
Nie wyglądasz jak inni miejscowi.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic.
Co to jest Seoul?
It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Ty sprawiasz, że to brzmi nieinteresująco. Tak czy inaczej chcę dowiedzieć się więcej o Seolu.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholière.
He's glad to have shut down your question.
Nosisz okulary.
That's correct.
That makes him a binoclard. Completely uncopped material, if you say so yourself.
Nie nazwał go pinglarzem. Okulary są czadowe.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
To prawda.
You could use a good, normal peer yourself.
Czy kiedykolwiek rozmawiasz sam ze sobą?
What do you mean?
No wiesz, kiedy rozmyślasz, toczysz czasem rozmowy z, swoim mózgiem?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Czyli, że twój mózg nigdy nie wtrąca się nagle z jakimiś radami, przestrogami ani niczym takim?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
Okej. Zdradź mi jakąś swoją tajemnicę?
No.
Tak myślałem. A, dobrze.
The lieutenant nods.
To na razie wszystko.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Powinieneś chyba wiedzieć, że nie pamiętam niczego.
No response. He just arches his brow.
Czuję, że muszę to powtórzyć. Nie pamiętam niczego. Bardzo dużo wypiłem.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Ale nie posiadam nawet podstawowych informacji, choćby na temat organizacji, do której należymy. Możesz mi pomóc?
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
W takim razie, na czym powinienem się skupić?
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles.
Co jest złego w sprawach osobistych?
Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
Dobra.
Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
Your heart beats twice like a fist. The serotonin deficiency makes your teeth clench.
Dziękuję, umędryczę.
The lieutenant blinks, his mouth slightly open and his body motionless. A microsecond passes.
Excuse me, I was lecturing you. I shouldn't have. You should consult a medical professional if you feel that you need help. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth.
This habit of dispensing wisdom has been brought to his attention before. He will not think less of you for lashing out. He is trying to curb it.
Dobra, nieważne.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
Opowiedz mi o sprawie.
What do you want to know?
Chciałbym wiedzieć o niej dosłownie wszystko, nie pamiętam niczego.
Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
Nie wiem o niej dosłownie nic, poza tym, co mi wcześniej powiedziałeś.
Do you want me to brief you?
Streścić, tak, to brzmi dobrze. Nie, będę improwizował.
There's no reason to wing anything. If you didn't get the brief, that's okay. I did. 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute.
Zaraz, a czy w odprawie wspomniano, kto jest ofiarą?
A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
Dlaczego nie widzieliśmy nic o zgłaszającym?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
Po co się tak ukrywać?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
Zaraz, Amorto.
That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
Żebym miał zupełną jasność, mamy tu za zadanie znaleźć mordercę.
That's right.
Tajne zadanie ukończone. What the fuck? Są takie rzeczy. Dobrze wiedzieć. Nazwałbyś tę sprawę tajemniczą?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Dlaczego nie?
The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
Myślałem, że może coś nie z tego świata miało udział w tej sprawie. No wiesz, coś nadnaturalnego. Biały mężczyzna około 40, czego więcej trzeba. Osobiście uważam, że zatargi robotnicze są bardzo tajemnicze. No dobrze, więc ta sprawa zapewne nie jest tajemnicza, ale może seksowna. Nie no, spróbujmy. Osobiście uważam, że zatargi robotnicze są bardzo tajemnicze.
Then you are in luck, because we are in the midst of a major strike by the Dock Workers Union. Maybe more than that. The union clearly wants a piece, not just of the industrial harbor, but the Wild Pines Corporation itself. I expect the case itself to be less challenging than navigating these community matters. This district isn't used to the RCM's presence, and the union rarely overplays its hand, as it appears to have done in this case.
Skoro jesteśmy z różnych komisariatów, to czemu zajmujemy się tą samą sprawą?
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
Co masz na myśli?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
Wiesz, w czym biorę udział. W amnezji.
Better still than an imbecile cop-off.
Gliniarskie przepychanki.
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
Lepiej powiedz mi teraz, to chyba ważne.
Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case?
Właściwie to wiem już wszystko, czego na razie potrzebuję.
Good.
Więc tak, nazbierało się trochę tego. Aha, tak są oznaczone zdanie powiązane z czasem. Czy mogę już obejrzeć trupa? Czy znowu się pożygam?
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Dobra. Gówno jest ogarnięte. Mamy +6. To się uda.
As you breathe in, the odor comes over you. It's a smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Zawsze tak robią.
They do after 7 days, yes. We are deep in decomposition here.
Podejdź o krok.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enamel boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Po kolei może przyjrzyj się butom.
The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow.
Co to dokładnie za buty?
They are armor, no boots. Technically speaking, these are sabatons.
No dobrze, co to jest za pancerz?
Ceramic plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be.
Gdzie?
Under the heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
A gdzie reszta rozkradziono przez miejscowych?
Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. Maybe he'll know something.
If you wear those pieces, it will help me protect your mortal coil.
Może miał na sobie po prostu te buty i nie ma żadnej reszty pancerza?
No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just strip him for the putrid rags.
A może kazali mu się rozebrać przed powieszeniem, żeby go upokorzyć?
They usually hang them completely naked for that. La puta madre, the Mazda, the Besmerties and the like. This one still has his underpants.
Fucking talking about underpants.
Ten materiał zdaje się tu nie pasować.
It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
O jakiej kwocie mówimy?
For a full set, about 4 years of wages.
Rozbiliśmy bank, dziecinko. Kiwnij głową w stronę butów.
By catching, do you mean let's not log them as evidence? Let's steal them?
Nie, no tak nie.
What was that about the constabulatory before? You need to push some buttons if you want to recruit the lieutenant in a conspiracy.
Dlaczego miałam? Czy ja chcę nosić buty z trupa? Nie to miałem na myśli.
Of course.
Skąd tego człowieka było stać na tak drogi sprzęt?
That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay.
Wstępny raport?
Just something I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
He's not actually sure of that. He's just being tactful.
To bardzo drogi sprzęt jak na ochroniarza.
I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Zastukaj w but.
A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. Suddenly, your biceps coil up. Your elbow is sharp and cocked for a punch.
Uderz mocniej. Nie no, wydaje się delikatny.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them, like the scales of some ancient white monster, cracked and pearly.
Ściągnij but.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure?
Dlaczego niebezpieczne? Bo trup może mi spaść na głowę. Mogłem zrobić save'a. Chwyć but pod pachę. Nie no, posłuchajmy naszego wewnętrznego imperium. Lepiej nawet nie próbować.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
Odsuń się i spójrz na ciało.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Przyjrzyj się pasowi.
The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. Oh my, there's something on the belt. A familiar word that speaks to the thirst within you.
Co takiego słowo?
Vermilion, in yellow letters, along the length of the twisting cargo belt. Only a deep longing for vermilion golden spirits lets you decipher the fading logo of the local brewery.
To kiepski moment, żeby się napić, prawda?
Extremely.
Co to dokładnie za pas?
Industrial strength. The can used for tying cargo to lorries.
Like in a circus, when the circus leaves town and they tie a black-spotted giraffe to the wall of a carry pen.
Jak na przykład jak w cyrku przy transporcie żyraf czarnoplamistych.
No. More like in harbor. Like the one just east of here. I get the sense they used whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
Bardzo chcieli, żeby tym został. Poliester wygląda na mocny.
It's not merely polyester. It's still reinforced. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed.
Zakładamy, że zrobili to miejscowi pracownicy portowi.
I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes. Motivated by the ongoing strike. You?
No, you feel like it was something else. But what?
Nie pytaj, tylko wlokł się od jednej chwili w życiu do kolejnej. Nie, czuję, że to było coś innego.
Yes, it often is. This bell worries me.
Jak oni go tam w ogóle wciągnęli?
A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt. Buckle closes. It's what I would do. Seems easier than climbing up there.
Odsuń się i spójrz na ciało.
The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Dobra, czekajcie, dajcie mi chwilę, zaraz wrócę. Dobra. Przyjrzyj się tatuażom.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. His corpse is marked by stars.
Czym będzie poznaczone moje?
Alcohol and heartbreak. Your fist clenches suddenly.
Będzie podziurawiony przez disco.
Decay is creeping on the tattoo. Already, most of the canvas that's holding it has darkened. Now, it disintegrates slowly, letting out a stink.
Czy to mapa nocnego nieba?
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great Century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
Czegoś tu nie dostrzegam.
So am I.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
Co to jest?
A Trigat Sunshine. Mini.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
An instant color camera.
Wyjmuję dwie szklane ampułki zamknięte metalowymi zatyczkami i umieszczę je z kliknięciem w gnieździe znajdującym się w bocznej ściance urządzenia. Towarzyszy mu lśniąca wąska szczelina.
This is the first time he openly acknowledges the kid's existence.
I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it.
Czadowa maszynka.
Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it?
Po co nam to zdjęcie?
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Mogę je wziąć? Przyjrzę mu się później bez tego trupiego smrodu.
Sure, just don't lose it.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Mogę w trakcie dialogu? Nie mogę, okej. Spójrz mu w oczy.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside, an expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death.
Powiedz mi, Umarlaku, kim jesteś?
I'm gone.
Gdzie poszedłeś?
Into the wild pale yonder.
Gdzie to jest?
In the past, way out in the west.
W sumie to trochę jak rozmowa z nieumarłymi z Baldura. Widzę, że cię tu już nie ma, ale kim ty jesteś?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
Nie ma w tobie nic zabawnego.
There is nothing funny about jokes either.
Kim byłeś za życia?
A killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
Takes one to know one.
Mam do ciebie inne pytanie.
Go ahead, Coppo.
Co się dzieje?
What do you mean?
Rozmawiam z tobą.
It's the power of your imagination.
Imagination.
Yeah, man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
He loves those
Czemu ja tak kocham pytania?
because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Poprosił wręcz komiczną liczbę pytań.
Coming right up, copperoonie, Rooney. This is getting upbeat now.
Nazywam się Rudolf.
Fuck no. You're no Rooney.
Ewidentnie nie jestem żadnym Rudolfem.
Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
Ostatnio mocno jestem bombardowany tym Harrym.
You might be onto something there,
Czemu czuję się, jakbym zapomniał o czymś strasznym?
because you have.
Kto cię zabił?
Love did me in, Brother Coppo. It was love all along.
A ty? Możesz zadać mi pytanie?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
Co?
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Może to do czegoś doprowadzi, czegoś nieopisanego, nieprzewidzianego, cudownego.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost here. You can feel it in the air, on your hands. The cold spring air smoothing them over.
Czemu czułeś przyjemność, kiedy zginąłeś?
Maybe I was getting my rocks off.
Czyli poczułeś podniecenie seksualne, kiedy cię uwieszali?
Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you?
Tak.
Captain Coppodromo. I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question.
Nienawidzę cię. Śmierdzisz i jesteś nudny.
Do I remind you of someone?
Istotą z głębin morskich.
No, not quite. Be fair now.
Dziecko dotknięte arlekinizmem.
You sure I got out of that one? Coppellini.
No wiesz, nieziemski, potraktuj to bardziej jako film w tej chwili. Interaktywną historię, gdzie możesz skrytykować moje wybory i to, jak prowadzę postać. Dość.
Come back later, Coppo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible,
Myślałem, że skończę.
also see me in your dreams.
Ten pasek z Arktisów nieziemski skróciłem na maksa. Także widzisz, mam w końcu przerwę pomiędzy plastikiem a łbem. Ale to z kolei spowoduje, że jakoś tak dziwnie leżą na łbie. Ale te słuchawki tak niedługo będą do wyjebania. Już i tak wystarczy, że przekrzywię kabel w złą stronę i no, Nie kupiłem nieziemski. Nie wiem, czy zauważyłeś, ale jak masz w opasce 3 otwory, nie? To przecież możesz sobie skrócić. Polecam najpierw po jednym oczku z jednej strony, jak ci się rozciągnie jedno oczko z drugiej strony. Ja już mam na maksa z obu naciągnięte. No właśnie mam wrażenie, że ta historia... Sam fakt, że mamy... Czyli tu już nieziemski rozciągnąłeś paska? Tak do końca? Jak wielki ty masz łeb? Nie no, dobra. Cofam to. Nie krytykuję. Miałem być miłym człowiekiem. Sam fakt, że mamy tyle różnych aspektów osobowości i mamy na nie rzuty, to praktycznie samych opcji dialogowych jest od cholery. To jak można poprowadzić historię. Już się przekonałem, przecież nie trafiłem w dzieciaka, jak chciałem dać mu pysk. Dzieciak teraz ma mnie za gówno. I słusznie. Dobra, zmruż oczy i zrób krok w tył.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink.
Spójrz.
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
Mrużył oczy Kim. Czemu to robię?
How should I know why you are squinting, officer?
Zmruż oczy mocniej, ma różową twarz i ręce. Uda też, reszta jest zielonkawa.
Oh. You are trying to assess lividity.
Daj oczom odpocząć.
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
So, what do you think?
Chyba nie żyje. Nie no. Zatkaj nos, coś się z niego wydostaje.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the time of death.
The fuck he's saying?
Talking about shit.
Oj, dzieciaki, dzieciaki. Jesus. Poszczęściło nam się. Może był w toalecie na krótko przed śmiercią.
Maybe.
Został pobity, widzisz siniaki?
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles, coin slot.
He means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
Nie wiem, co mam myśleć. A co myślisz ty?
I think he was upright immediately after death. Blood has gathered in his hands and feet, and his neck. The noose acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis here is in tune with the hanging. That's what I think.
Czy mimo to jest możliwe, że został przeniesiony po śmierci?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Chyba nie żyje.
I agree.
There are crow's feet in his eyes. He's laughing silently.
Totally dead.
Martwy trup po trup. Skibidi dup.
Dabadoob doob dead.
Cofnij się i złap oddech.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
Jest coś, co muszę wiedzieć o trupie. Nie, jest coś, co muszę wiedzieć trupie. Nie było o.
Of course. You have questions,
Aha,
don't you?
są te opcje.
The power of your imagination is at your service.
To już przeklikaliśmy.
Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also see me in your dreams.
No dobra, jak go ściągniemy.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
Zobaczmy
The
jeszcze raz.
cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Tak, zakończyliśmy wstępne oględziny. Ściągnijmy go stamtąd.
The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it.
Możemy odpiłować gałąź.
Climb up there and saw the branch?
Tak, to chyba niebezpieczne. Pomyślałbym o tej opcji, gdyby nie to, że moja koordynacja ruchowa jest beznadziejna. Cała moja motoryka trochę się... Także no... Tak, to chyba niebezpieczne.
There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
Nie może tego zrobić ktoś inny?
Someone else? You mean like the police?
Tak, dokładnie, wezwijmy policję. Nie no, miałem na myśli kogoś, kto jest poniżej detektywa.
Someone like a paid garbage man? Or a cleaning crew? I have bad news for you. That is a detective. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down, fast.
Może dałoby się poprosić o pomoc w porcie?
I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appear to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Confirmed. It's unsafe.
Tak, poczekaj, pomyślmy jeszcze.
But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt, like chicken on a skewer.
Może dałoby go radę zestrzelić.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Po prostu strzel w pas, pocisk go przerwie.
It absolutely will not, officer. That's not how physics work. It will maybe cut one thread loose.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea.
No strzelaj, poruczniku. Co się może stać takiego złego?
I'll blow his head off.
Take it! Take the shot!
Yeah, take the shot. Kuno wants some of that shit.
Silence. With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks.
To się nie uda.
He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
Zestrzel skurwiela.
He's gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
he feels bad about his eyes mostly, just having bad eyesight, probably from a young age. Whatever you do, do not console him.
Jakbyś Nieziemski się zastanawiał, to Ja straciłem wczoraj pasek HP1, bo próbowałem uderzyć dzieciaka. Moja postać nie trafiła i się wyjebałem i bolało. Także no, teoretycznie mógłbym, ale się nie udało.
Fucking idiot! Mukabat asshole!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
Nieziemski. Koordynacja oko ręka na poziomie 2. Jak w życiu. To się nie uda. W porządku, stary.
Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels sorry for the Beano Cloud.
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Może spróbuj jeszcze raz.
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that.
Co teraz?
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
To brzmi strasznie upierdliwie. Nie róbmy tego.
We are not getting him down already. Not getting him down is a task that's already accomplished. Sadly, it's not our job to keep him up there, but to get him down.
Mogę spróbować sam go zestrzelić.
It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks here. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't hit the victim.
Będę potrzebował do tego twojej broni.
They only have one gun!
Oops.
This is the sorriest pair of pigs Kuno's ever seen.
Trochę mi źle z tym, co oni mówią.
Officer, why do we only have one gun?
Pamiętasz, jak ci mówiłem, że po przebudzeniu nie miałem odznaki ani munduru? Broni też nie miałem.
That is even more unfortunate than the badge. You need to contact your station about it as soon as possible. Try not to lose this one, please.
We're not off to a good start. This missing gun business is making your hand tremble.
Weź broń.
Yeah, take it, you fucking banani poika! Take it and shoot yourself in the mouth!
Zważ go najpierw w dłoni.
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal is surprisingly light. Your fingers fit right through the guard, instinctively resting on the trigger.
The fuck are you waiting for, Kuno? Tell him to shoot himself in the mouth!
Kuno is silent. Aggression gathers in the air. The trigger feels delicate and ready to break under your finger.
Czy mogę wycelować w Kuno? Wyceluj pistoletem w pas.
The buckle comes into focus in your sights. You stand with your feet planted firmly in the ground and your left hand supporting your gun arm.
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss.
Wyceluj pistoletem w Kuno.
Do it! Set me free!
You feel as though it would be dangerous to set this creature free to roam about the cosmos.
Don't.
Do it!
Wycelujmy w pas.
Intense shit, copper.
Could waved his gun! It wasn't intense, it was pathetic!
Zamknij się.
Or what? You gonna fuck me?
Zamknij lewe oko.
Pig.
Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, slick with the falling rain. The corpse slowly rotates.
Postrzelimy trupa jak
He's
nic.
trying. You
Jeszcze mam -1, bo zareagowałem na... Dobra. Po prostu myślałem, że jak wyceluję w gówniarze, to zamkną mordy. Poszło w drugą stronę. Nie mógł zrobić quick save'a. No musiałbym mieć krytyczny sukces. Fail.
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb from the explosion. With your ears still ringing, you lower the weapon to see what happened.
Czy jakbym miał krytycznego faila, odstrzeliłbym mu łeb i trup by spadł.
You missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of ribcage protrude from the skin. No blood, only a murky sludge dripping down his belly. The sudden stink makes your eyes water.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry!
Kurwa,
I
morale.
knew it. What a mulko!
Coś jest nie tak z twoją bronią, poruczniku. Nie trafię do celu.
The armistice is sufficiently precise, officer, especially at close range.
It's not the gun's fault you can't shoot. It's your pig hands.
Pigs don't have hands. They have, like, fucking hooves or something.
Kuno has hands. Kuno can shoot that shit down for you.
Porucznik, powinniśmy dać Kuno twoją broń służbową. Nie, Boże, nie. To niedorzeczne. Nie damy ci broni do ręki, dzieciaku.
That's preposterous! What are you, a fucking earl?
We still need to get him down somehow.
Ale jak?
The bad way. The way I didn't want us to. By asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. If they put him up there, they can take him down too.
Ale czy to nie będzie niebezpieczne?
To ask the suspect for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Everard Clare? Very much, yes. Which is why I would have preferred us to handle this ourselves. Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches!
Kim jest Everard Clare?
The leader of the Union. A dangerous and corrupt man, from what I hear. You don't want to owe him much.
Yeah? Don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Kuno's bitches.
Aż oni mnie wkurwiają. Jak dostaniemy się do portu?
From the gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. Or we can try to find some secret third path. It's unlikely though.
To the gates. Let's fight, I say.
Jeszcze czego? Ciało by chciało, ale niestety siły za mało. No to do roboty. O, ściąganie ciała. Niestety sfailowaliśmy tatuaża. Musimy spytać Kuno pancerz.
So you tried to kill Kuno's girl? What's up with that? You want to talk about it?
Ale ja jej nie próbowałem zastrzelić, po prostu w nią wycelowałem.
What? Bitch! You fucking making excuses for yourself now?
Przepraszam, trochę mnie poniosło.
Do this shit again and Kuno's gonna climb in your room at night with a knife. Kuno knows where you sleep. The pig who fucked his window up. I'm gonna climb in through that balcony. Put the fucking knife in you. Yeah. I've been in your room. But you and Kuno are good for now. Pals. Shoot that shit at Kuno. Let's have a jolly time.
Nie będziesz mi groził.
One word out of you, pig shite, and you're locked out of the Kuno experience forever. You hear me?
You hear the Kuno?
No, You don't need to ever talk to these little shitheads again. It's much more important to prove to this kid you're a man. A big man.
No dawaj, ty mały.
You and Kuno are fucking done. Get the fuck out of Kuno's sight.
Let's go, officer. I've had enough of this.
Sprawdźmy śmietnik.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still.
Czemu ci się przyglądam? Jesteś tylko pojemnikiem na śmieci.
Well, it is a container. Maybe you're prioritizing it.
Jak myślisz, poruczniku, co może być w środku?
Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too.
Tak, czuję, że coś tam w środku jest.
What do you mean, feel?
To percepcja pozazmysłowa, cokolwiek tam jest, ma wyjątkowe znaczenie.
I agree. We should get someone from the remote viewers division here.
Co to jest Wydział Zdalnych Obserwatorów?
All the detectives from all the precincts who experience extrasensory perception go to the remote viewers division. Their work is invaluable to the force.
O rany, moglibyśmy ich tu sprowadzić?
No, because they don't exist.
Ależ czuję się rozczarowany. Myślałem, że Wydział Zdalnych Obserwatorów naprawdę istnieje.
There isn't, but we should still access this container.
Jak otworzymy ten zamek?
We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or
Albo...
we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
Dobra. A więc tak. Przyjrzyjmy się, co mamy. Możemy użyć brutalnej siły. Co ciekawe, mam ciało jako narzędzie na 4, a do tej pory wszystkie testy... No cóż... Wyjebałem się przy Kuno.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Trochę tego jest. Główny korytarz budynka.
An off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
Plesans, to ja. Proszę otwórz drzwi, próbuję wejść.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead. You ring the doorbell, but no one answers. Just seeing the words Andro Orlando gets your hackles up. Its very existence is a threat to your masculinity, to say nothing of your hair. All you hear is static, but no one answers the call. You wait for a minute or two,
Czy w ogóle
but
ktokolwiek
all you
inny
get from
odbierze?
the call box is silence. No one answers the call. Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore. You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver but isn't saying anything.
Halo, jestem kto?
Yes, hello. This is Tracy Peniel Electric.
Głos jak z zaświatów.
Have you come to place an order?
Myślałem, że dzwonił do Slipstream SCA.
My God.
The lieutenant exchanges a look with you.
Słucham.
It's you. My
It's a woman, and she knows you. Your heart beats faster. No, something's wrong here. Are you sure she's talking to you?
Tak, to ja znowu tu jestem, żeby wpełznąć z powrotem do twojego życia.
Michelle, just please.
Sounds like a ghost. Wind blows through your clothes and you feel detached from your surroundings. Inside the building, a cold memory hangs.
Why did you even call? I don't understand. You've been gone for months. I thought you didn't care.
Ależ obchodzisz, po prostu miałem bardzo trudny okres.
Ever since I came to work here, it's been different. As if my mind's been wiped clean.
A spot of static overrides her words. When she speaks again, it sounds like she's submerged.
It's so nice.
Ona nie żyje.
It's so nice to be able to finally forget.
Zapomnieć o czym?
She sounds like she's about to cry. The cold is deep under your skin, as if you were talking to someone who's 100 years away. Somewhere inside the building, water is flooding the cellar floor.
Boże, proszę nie płakać.
She doesn't answer.
Mówiła pani, że miło zapomnieć. Co w tym takiego miłego?
Silence. The only thing you can hear now is static and waves washing ashore on the bay.
Rozumiem, nie chcesz ze mną rozmawiać. Nikt nigdy nie chce ze mną rozmawiać.
Another seagull passes by. It's getting cold standing here, staring at the silent call box.
It must have been some kind of faulty wiring. We should maybe stop playing with this doorbell. It looks ancient.
No dobrze, w takim razie czas się pożegnać.
You press the number sign on the keypad that terminates the call. 12 name cards on the call box read.
Chyba podleweluję siłą woli i tu wrócę. Forteca katastrof.
Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident.
Miasto lodów.
Silence. No one answers the doorbell.
Już myślałem, że miasto lodów okaże się burdelem.
Nothing happens after you ring the doorbell. They don't want to talk to you.
Salon pinballowy.
Silence. No one answers your call.
Pusta karta.
This button looks new, but someone has removed the name card. Nothing happens when you try to ring it.
Huh. This button looks new. It's probably not connected yet.
Dobra. Musimy mieć jakiś plan działania. Zobaczmy, jakie mam questy. Ogólnie powinienem pójść do samochodu, zgłosić zaginięcie odznaki. Jaka fura. Silnik na wierzchu. To wygląda jak coś, co jeździłoby w Death Stranding. Może zrobi save'a tak poza tym.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery, bearing the number 57.
Otwórz drzwi.
In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Stuknij w miernik nagrzewacza paliwa.
As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive my MC.
Przesuń palcem po jednej z dźwigni sterujących.
The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm.
Kim, na co my w ogóle patrzymy? Co to za maszyna?
This is the Caprice Kinema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and the radio if you'd like.
Motor carriage, motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat.
Czemu na dźwięk słów powóz motorowy brak mi tchu, jakbym się topił?
Nothing, nothing. It's probably nothing. Forget I brought it up. Please proceed with the carefree lollygagging.
Możemy go włączyć i gdzieś pojechać?
No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands, remember?
No dobra, ale czym jest powóz motorowy?
A motorized vehicle, officer. I'm sure you are familiar with the concept. We've had these for nearly a century.
Wszyscy policjanci w MOR mają takie czadowe powozy motorowe?
The Caprice Motorcar does provide most of our patrol vehicles, yes.
Dobra,
In the
rozejrzyjmy się.
cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Weźmy
The
radio
frequency
oczywiście.
tableau lights up, and the green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. And then you hear something. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Cześć Alice, tu funkcjonariusz z 41 komisariatu, miło Cię poznać.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Możesz mnie połączyć z 41 komisariatem? Muszę im coś zameldować.
Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st, come in, over.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with an array of wires and antennas. The
Cześć.
radio switchboard.
Cześć, tu ja. Pracuję na waszym komisariacie.
10-4, what's your status? Over.
Ja,
10-18, 10-20, over.
proszę mów do mnie po ludzku, te liczby zupełnie nic mi nie mówią.
State your message, sir. Over.
Muszę zgłosić zaginięcie odznaki.
10-9, repeat message, over.
Moje odznaki nie mogły jej nigdzie znaleźć, zniknęła po prostu.
10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain, over.
1022, the captain. This sounds bad. Bad and scary. Like being called to the headmaster's office in school.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge?
Nic nie mów.
Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Bez żartów, powiedz mi, żeby przestali, to poważna sprawa.
He's asking you to stop. Says this is serious.
Of course it's serious. He lost his fucking badge.
Satellite Officer Vicmar concurs. Losing your badge is serious. Over.
Możemy przejść już dalej, chcę to po prostu zgłosić i mieć to z głowy.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now? His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
Czy możecie przestać na moment powtarzać, zgubił odznakę?
He asks you to please stop saying he lost his badge.
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Person was wondering if you found your badge yet. Over.
You don't have a comeback. Sorry. It's hard to think like this.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it.
Dość już o tym, mam inne sprawy do poruszenia.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun too.
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too. Over.
Oh, fuck.
O kurwa. O kurwa, 17% szans. Chwila. Dramaturgia. Mogę to awansować. W tej chwili. Czy chcemy dramatyzować? Właśnie jestem ciekaw, czy to by podliczyło rozwój w trakcie dialogu. Właśnie nie do końca chcę dramatyzować. Po prostu byłem ciekaw, czy to zadziała. Myślę, że dodam do siły woli. Musimy mieć silną wolę, nikomu się nie dawać. Lecimy na żywioł. 17%.
Even before you can get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
Aj. Nie, oczywiście, że nie zgubiłem broni, aż kurwa, nie zgubiłem broni.
He says he didn't lose his gun. Or his fun, whatever that means.
Nie wierzyłem, że to się uda i tak.
Ask him to describe it. His gun. Not his fun. Just the gun will do.
Satellite Officer McLean requests a description of your weapon. Over.
The fuck do you need a gun for? Look at the pythons on your arms. You are a gun. The biggest one in the world.
O kurwa. Popatrz tylko na te potężne węże, twoje dłonie. Ty jesteś spluwą. Największą na świecie.
Oh, request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
Jestem mistrzem sztuk walki. Moje całe ciało jest jedną wielką spluwą.
He says he's a living weapon and we are trying to trick him.
Host in heaven. Did he lose his gun and his mind? Dear God, he lost his gun? Oh my, I can't. This isn't really a laughing matter.
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself, but Disco here made him piss his pants.
Oh, I can't. Fuck. He lost his... Ask him if he still got his wiener. Oh, man.
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over.
Now is a good time to say fuck and ass and so on. That'll make this all right.
O kurwa, muszę. Zostawiłem je u jego mamuśki po tym, jak całą noc jechałem ją w dupę. Przekaż mu to.
That's a negative. Not going to say that. Over.
What's he saying? Share with the class.
He said he sodomized your mother.
The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party. Some nerve he's got.
Sure her vanilla waffles were the only thing he ate?
Shut up, Chester. This isn't funny. This is my mom we're talking about. Tell him to apologize right now.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims that you made about his mother. Over.
Jak się nie podoba riposta, to może trzeba było nie dopierdalać się do ognistego.
Like he says you shouldn't have antagonized the Firewalker in the first place.
Who?
Satellite Officer V. I'm afraid he might be referring to himself as Firewater, sir.
Firewater? He's lost it. Fuck it. Tell him to find his goddamn badge and gun. That's the only thing that matters.
Satellite Officer V.
Słyszałem go i zajmuj się tym.
10-4, affirmative. Officer is in pursuit of his firearm.
Oh God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over.
Nie potrzebuję pomocy finansowej.
10-4, I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request, but...
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking kidding?
Żulicjant, krok od przełomu.
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Alright, that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over.
To kluczowe dla dochodzenia, żebyście dali mi więcej pieniędzy.
He says it's important to the case.
He isn't getting a red cent. You can tell him that.
Request denied, sir. Over.
Nothing is working.
Proszę, błagam, nie mam nawet gdzie dzisiaj spać.
He says he's in trouble. Doesn't have a place to sleep.
Well, I guess he'd better crack the case before sundown then.
Vicmar said...
Who cares what this Vicmar said? Pull on their heartstrings. Enough, officer. This begging is below your dignity.
Nie chcę już tu być. Chcę wrócić do domu. Proszę, przyjedźcie po mnie.
Listen, it's okay. You can do it, sir. Over.
What is he saying?
Did you want anything else, sir? Many of your colleagues are also here. Over.
What? I thought you had your shit together. This is nearing a complete meltdown. Stop it.
Nie, wszystko dobrze. Wszystko dobrze. Mam jeszcze inne sprawy.
Let us address them now, sir. Over.
Może zabrzmi to dziwnie, ale chciałbym przedyskutować kilka kwestii osobistych.
Okay, 10-4, sir. I hear you. Relay your question. Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through.
O czym tu myśleć?
You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone you lost your memory. Be smart about this. Ask if he's there alone.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
Poczekaj, czy jesteś sam w pomieszczeniu? Potrzebuję poufnych informacji o sobie.
That's a negative, sir. I got a 10-12 here. Over.
Proszę na przyszłość zwracać się do mnie pełnym imieniem i nazwiskiem. Chciałem tylko potwierdzić, czy opis mojej odznaki w twoim meldunku jest poprawny. Możesz mi go odczytać? Imię, stopień i datę urodzenia?
What? What is it? He's still on the line?
He wants to verify the information on his badge.
But of course, it says Dick Mullen, High General of the Revacholian Cavalry Force. Tell him to stop wasting time.
What do you need, sir? Over.
Proszę na przyszłość zwracać się do mnie pełnym imieniem i nazwiskiem.
10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over.
Powiedz moje imię. Say my name.
Sir, I will not have you talk to me in this manner. Over.
Proszę, Jules, po prostu wypowiedz moje imię.
What? What is it? What can he possibly still want from us?
He seems intoxicated and keeps asking me to call him by his name.
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive. That's new.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics.
Jakieś wieści o mojej rodzinie?
Excuse me, sir. Over.
You probably don't want to continue on this road.
Nic, nieważne.
Come again, sir. I didn't get that. 10-9, over.
Opowiadałem ci kiedyś jakieś szczegóły z mojego życia, zanim wstąpiłem do moru?
10-4, well, that's,
Does he actually want something, or is he hell-bent on disrupting our work?
He asked if he ever told me about his days before joining the RCN.
For God's sake, cut this shit out! Tell him to stop wasting time and be a goddamn policeman for a change.
Sir, Satellite Officer Vicmar says...
Słyszałem go.
So, was there anything else?
Zakończmy to już.
Understood, sir.
Na razie wszystko.
Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier, around a dozen cops. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, a buzz with laughter when Officer Judith Minot enters. Her left arm is in bandages and her hair trimmed short.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his badge and his sidearm. He seemed confused, delirious even.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty story to his partner, Chester McLean.
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, all right. Sounded fucking drunk to me.
Yeah, Mac's right. This was some gnarly shit there. I mean, before he started begging for money, it was...
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on carrot juice? He's a lost man.
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this to the captain, or anyone else. We'll give him a couple of days to pull his shit together.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our laughs. Now get back to work.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
To jeszcze raz radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Alice, połącz mnie proszę z lazaretem 41
It
komisariatu.
will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out into the familiar radio static.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Kiepsko ze mną, doktorku, naprawdę kiepsko.
Oh, it's you.
Was that a snarl or a suppressed groan? No love for you here.
Straciłem pamięć całkowicie.
With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised.
There is no surprise in his voice, only careless superiority.
Nie jesteś zaskoczony? No dobra, coś jeszcze?
What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side, you've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely.
Chyba miałem zawał serca.
And you survived it. Congratulations. Are you mobile?
Sort of, but by God does it burn in your chest.
Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that. Officers your age have coronary trouble all the time. Also, death is a natural part of life.
Zacząłem chyba cierpieć na potężny światłowstręt.
That's because you're hungover. Even the radio waves coming from your direction smell like liquor. Do you feel like your eyes are twitching too?
Tak.
That's the tiny vessels pulsating from high blood pressure, stupid officer. You might be sustaining permanent damage to your vision as we speak. not much I can do about it. I'm not an eye doctor.
Ale jakim lekarzem jesteś w takim razie?
The busy kind. It's not life-threatening, just annoying for you. I've got more important things to do here.
Tak, tu ognisty.
Firewalker? Oh, yes you are. Just don't breathe in the general direction of your fire feet. Actually, wait. Do exactly that. Put yourself out of your misery. Take a deep, diaphragmatic breath in and...
A glorious sight. Your body, tired from the vastness of the visions that haunt it, burning up in a flame fed by your own living breath.
Więc ty też to widzisz? Że moje ciało stanie się ostatnią pochodnią wśród mroku?
I see third-degree burns and a referral to a plastic surgeon whom you won't be able to afford. But that's in the future. Do you have any current, pressing medical problems?
Nie ma nic, co mógłbyś dla mnie zrobić?
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body?
Tak, chcę prawdy.
You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not a retirement home. We don't have the funds to deal with rock stars past their prime.
So it's political. You're being neglected because of political reasons.
And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate. It looks like Mactorson.
It's not fucking cryoacrylate. It's super glue, Doc.
To chyba na razie wszystko.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Potrzebuję połączenia z cywilką, niejaką Sylwii. Możliwe, że zgłaszał morderstwo.
Of course. What is her number, officer?
Kim, czy Gart nie dał ci numer do Sylwii?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Zacznij wystukiwać na swoich udach marszowy rytm.
Give it a minute. She might be busy at the moment. Takes a bit to get to the phone.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
Sylwii, myślę, że już się znamy. To ja, detektyw z Whirling in Rags.
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again. There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
Ale elektrochemia jest zjebana. Elektrochemia próbuje ze mnie zrobić ćpuna i... No cóż. Zrezygnowała pani z pracy w Whirling. Czemu?
You mean why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir.
Zaraz, czemu woli pani ze mną o tym nie rozmawiać? Przez nas pewnie, tak?
Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone.
Od kogo? Od nas?
You know whom.
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her words. Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else, not you.
Ma pani na myśli mnie. Chciała pani uciec ode mnie.
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about this, okay?
Dobrze, nie będę naciskał. Zamierza pani wrócić do tej pracy?
Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now.
Czy to pani wezwała policję?
No, not me.
Ale czemu pani nie zadzwoniła? Nie przeszkadzało pani ciało wiszące za miejscem pracy?
What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the corpse.
Mam na myśli nas. Powinna była pani wezwać policję.
No one calls the police. The union would get angry.
Co ma pani na myśli?
You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Garbage.
Poczekaj, Kim. Czy ona mówi prawdę? Związek jest w okolicy prawem?
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the Dock Workers Union.
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
Proszę powiedzieć, dlaczego właściwie pozwoliła pani, żeby na waszym podwórzu całymi tygodniami wisiało ciało, zamiast do nas zadzwonić? Nie no, cofnijmy się. Musimy po kolei. Rozumiem, może będzie pani w stanie powiedzieć mi coś w innej kwestii?
I don't know what to tell you, officer. I didn't call you because I didn't want to get in trouble with the others. With the union. I'm sorry about that.
Czy wie pani, kto dokonał zgłoszenia?
No, sorry. I don't. Not a lot of people have phones around here. Copper thieves take the wires. People don't have the money to have the cables put in again. They use the union's phone, or the one on the coast.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Dobrze, następne pytanie.
Yeah, go on.
Widziała pani moją odznakę?
Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. The law.
Zaginęła mi odznaka. Widziała ją pani może?
Oh, no, I haven't, sorry.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours?
Kim nie ma munduru, a wydaje się zupełnie prawdziwe.
He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not knowing where your uniform is. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well. Others do it more casually. Looks like you're one of them.
Widziała pani moją broń?
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective.
Pokazywałem swoją broń? Kiedy?
You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
Tak. I co? Co zrobiłem?
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. Spat some in his food. I don't think he touched it after. People tried to back away from you or even slip out of the door, but you screamed, "I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are all suspects in a murder investigation."
Czemu miałbym grozić, że się zabiję? Przecież ten świat jest piękny, chcę w nim zostać.
There is silence on the other end of the
Dobrze.
line.
Nie wiem, co powiedzieć.
Me neither.
Powinienem był się zabić. Czy to mi poleci po morale? Pewnie tak. Tak, ale co się stało z moją bronią?
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like big bucks cannot lie and guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask.
Nie widziała może pani mojego policyjnego munduru?
Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. You had your things on. The disco things.
Somewhere in a dank rental apartment, two police officers stand in the dark. Trash and liquor bottles cover the floor. Things are not good. One of the men, trying not to slip on old newspapers, makes his way to the window and pulls the curtains apart. Roaches scatter as the light comes in. God damn. Officer Michelle Elfboy Williams speaks to himself. His partner, Sundance Fisher, looks at the patrol uniform he's wearing, then at an identical suit frame on the wall. It's blue and covered in dust. Let's get the fuck out of there. He turns to Williams. He hasn't been here in days.
Chyba już wszystko wiem, dziękuję. Nie będę pytał ją o kawę, skoro to przez nas zwolniła się z pracy.
I do hope so. Please don't call me again. Bye.
Zaraz, czemu ona wydaje się na ciebie zła? 92%. Nie możemy tak zjebać, prawda?
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the Whirling in Rags, when she was still working there.
Proszę poczekać, zanim się rozłączymy. Jest pani na mnie zła, prawda? Co dokładnie zrobiłem? Nic nie pamiętam.
I'm not mad, it's just you were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit.
Jaki incydent z wydrzykiem?
The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and laughing like a maniac. I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there.
To zupełnie nie brzmi jak ja. Kocham ptaki.
Yes, well,
Czyli twierdzi pani, że to przeze mnie postanowiła pani odejść z pracy?
yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I have seen so many assholes in this place. I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you...
Proszę mówić dalej. Chcę wiedzieć, co zrobiłem. Stracimy trochę chyba na morale.
Well, you were worse than all of them. Honestly, you were getting borderline aggressive. Even about little things like not turning down the volume at 3 a.m. I even liked one of those songs you kept listening to on repeat. No more. I hate it now.
Chwilka, której piosenki?
We Go On by the O.O. I can't listen to it anymore. You've turned it into a parody.
Przepraszam, przykro mi z powodu tej piosenki.
To hell with that song. Then there was your room. Your project. An experiment to see how bad it can get in there. I tried to send the cleaner, but you wouldn't let me. Threatened to make me understand. I had no idea what you meant, and I don't want to know. And then you screamed something about how you're a piece of shit human being, and why does anyone even let you work as a policeman? That you'd fire yourself, but you can't even do that.
Przepraszam.
And then I had to deal with your toilet. The one you clogged with police documents, causing water damage downstairs in the kitchen. I won't even mention you waving your gun around, harassing customers, threatening to sing karaoke, threatening to kill yourself.
Chwilkę, policyjnymi dokumentami?
The ones I had to wrench out of your toilet.
Co się z nimi stało?
Damn it, I don't remember what I did to your damn papers. I don't remember every little thing I do.
She's worried she might have accidentally done something bad. Then she remembers it's you.
Especially when there's a hurricane loose. It's your fault for losing them, not mine.
Something in you wants to immediately forget about this, as if there was a reason you threw them away.
Dobrze, rozumiem, nie byłem zbyt dobrym lokatorem.
No, you really weren't. You were simply the worst.
Bardzo cię za wszystko przepraszam, Sylwii.
God, I knew I shouldn't have brought it up. Just try not to call me again, and let's pretend it never happened.
Co jeszcze śpiewałem poza o? Szukam pewnej piosenki.
All sorts of things. Some disco, rock too. So much disco and rock.
Może będzie mi pani w takim razie w stanie pomóc zidentyfikować jedną piosenkę?
Which one would that be?
Tę taką bardzo smutną.
Sad? I think the one you mean is the smallest church in Saint-Saëns. Butchered that right up.
Interesting. You still have to find it, however.
Dobrze, dziękuję za poświęcony czas. Proszę na siebie uważać.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Wordless, the call breaks. Then, the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
Na razie nie chcę nic więcej robić z radiem.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Dobra, zamknijmy drzwi. Nie będę brał na razie łomu.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally,
Glinot.
and now we know your couple type.
Chwilę, istnieją jakieś glinotypy?
Yes. Guess what's yours?
Pancerny gliniarz?
No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it official then, shall we? Huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here.
Ale czy inne glinotypy nie będą zazdrosne?
What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be fine. Don't worry. They'll be super, super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual copotype from sorry to anything.
No dobrze, ale jakie są inne glinotypy?
Oh, you know. Apocalypse, Superstellar, the Advanced Interesting Cop, Liquid Shadow Cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. So, here we go?
Jebane, to one powinny przepraszać.
Yes, yes. Impotent rage and lamentation. Let's wrap it up?
Wiesz co, w sumie to za nic nie przepraszam i nie jestem żałosny, zmieniam zdanie.
No, you don't. Come on. You'll be back to saying sorry in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance.
Przepraszam.
Of course you are. It's okay. See if you can get something out of this, like info, or maybe every time you say you're sorry, you get $1 million. Hobocop.
Hobocop, no kurde.
Technically, you wouldn't be a cop anymore, but a hobo. That would mean game over for the cop chapter of your adventures. But who knows where the hobo part takes you? To the bar? The old L'Assommoir? To the pier or the sewers? To Le Royaume, where for 300 years they interred the dead. You could plunder royalist crypts for long-forgotten triple malt bourbon, then fight the Aramakan beast that lurks the bottommost sepulchres. The secrets of the city are all yours at last.
Pasuje. Jakie mam premie? Ujawnię na mapie wyjątkowe kolekcjonerskie butelki. Więcej pieniędzy z sprzedaży opakowań. Same bonusy. Będziemy zbierać buteleczki. Akceptujemy. Zaawansowanego żulicjanta. I chyba muszę zinternalizować zjadł samokrytykę. Stracę trochę władczości, która nie jest i tak rozwinięta. Czas analizy 6 godzin, ok. Dobrze, że wcześniej wjechało. Ale tak. Ran pod buteleczki. Potrzebujemy reklamówki. Potrzebujemy pogadać z ludźmi. Potrzebujemy skoczyć do monopolowego. Ale to nic. Nasz żulicjant ma całkiem niezły ran. Co chce rozwinąć? Nie no, ruszyłem trupa. Postrzeliłem trupa. Można powiedzieć, że naruszyłem trupa. Dobra. Nie no, nieziemski. Pierwszy strzał nie trafił. Na pewno nie rozwijemy elektrochemii. Elektrochemia jest pojebana. Elektrochemia to jest zajęty ze studiów. Może wytrzymałość trochę. To się przyda. Siła woli, wytrzymałość. Chociaż szczerze mówiąc, konceptualizację bym rozwinął. Ma ciekawe komentarze. Nawet to postrzeganie tych tatuaży było interesujące. Dam w siłę woli jeszcze. Żebyśmy się nie załamywali. Teoretycznie przez 2,5 godziny nie zrobiliśmy prawie nic. A mimo to jestem zajebiście wkręcony. Ta gra jest tak przyjemnie pojebana. Dobra, moi drodzy, robimy save'a. I na dzisiaj to będzie tyle. Jutro, mam nadzieję, odpalę o normalnej porze. Dzisiaj znowu późno mi to wszystko wyszło, ale musiałem wyjść i podzwonić trochę. Także trzymajcie się. Do zobaczenia jutro. Uważajcie na siebie i różne takie. No, jak coś, to wiecie, gdzie jestem, na Discordzie. See ya.